Alrighty friends, so today we are going to use our pumpkins that we drew last week with crayons, and we are actually going to be painting today. So check out the next part of this video that kind of explains how you're going to use markers and water and tin foil to create some paint, and we're gonna paint over our pumpkins. The next part of this video just shows you how to turn markers into paint. If you have a set of watercolors at your house, you are more than welcome to use your own watercolors. But if you do not have watercolor paint at your house, then the next part of this video is going to show you how to turn regular markers into watercolor paint.
One of my favorite materials to make art with is paint, and specifically watercolor paint. So watercolor paint is a paint that kind of starts off hard and dry. And then when you add water to it, it can blend on your paper really nicely, and I just love to mix colors with watercolor. So I understand that not everyone has watercolor paints at their house, so today I'm going to teach you how to turn regular washable Crayola markers or any brand of washable markers into watercolor paint using tin foil or a plastic bag. All right, so to start with, you're gonna choose any color that you want, and you're just going to color onto your tin foil. And like I said, you can also do this on a plastic bag. So you're just gonna color on your tin foil. You're gonna take your paintbrush and dip it in your water cup. And then you're going to paint on top of that area on the tin foil that you just colored with the marker. And so now what is happening is you have green paint on your paintbrush. So now I can paint with that green paint. Running out of paint, guess what? All you gotta do is add some more marker, add a little bit more water, and now you got some more paint. It's going to work with any of your colors of markers, just adding that color onto your tin foil. And you do want to wash your brush if you're going to change colors, because that green would start to mix with the pink if I didn't wash my brush in between. So now I'm going to add my water to my pink marker, and now I can start to paint with pink. So I'll also show you what it would look like on a plastic bag. Else that's really cool about this is, yes, you could do all of your colors of markers and call it a day, or what you could do is create some of your own colors by mixing your markers together. So if I wanted to mix this purple and the blue together, what I could do is color some blue, color some purple, and with my wet paintbrush, mix these guys together to make a totally new color. I'll show you what it looks like on the paper. It's gonna be really pretty. Look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? So I love that you can make your own watercolors, and I also love that you can mix your own colors, because that's one of my favorite parts about painting, is mixing new colors.
So if you have those watercolors, you can use those to paint over your pumpkins, but if not, grab some markers, tin foil, or a plastic bag, and that paintbrush from your art kit, and we're gonna paint our pumpkin. Okay, so with your markers and some kind of either plastic bag or tin foil, your brush and water, we are gonna paint on top of our pumpkins. Now, I had you guys use crayons last week because crayons are made of wax, and the wax from the crayons is going to actually resist your watercolor paint. So what that means is that when you go to paint on top, the watercolor paint will paint in all the white spots, but you'll still be able to see your crayons. So whatever color you were going to paint your pumpkin, you were gonna lay that down onto your tinfoil or your baggie, wet your paintbrush, and dip it in that marker. And then you can paint right on top. Do you see how I am painting on top of the crayon? And that water, or the watercolor paint, is just going right over the crayons. So if you feel like you are running out of that color, you can just draw some more marker back onto your surface and then add some more water. Awesome, awesome. So my friends, once you have painted over your crayon from your pumpkins, I would love it if you took another picture so I can kind of see how we're going. And we actually are gonna do one more thing to this project. So next week we're gonna do something else. So hang on to your painted pumpkins until next week. If you would take a picture with your Chromebook and upload it to our Google Classroom on the art assignment for this week. I can't wait to see your pumpkins. Y'all have an awesome Monday.